It's nice to see that most of you came back on time. Of course, there was that 4. We won't mention any names who were late. We're going now to move into more of the metaphysical aspect of the class. Learning hypnosis and doing hypnosis is fairly easy to do, as long as you know the safety parameters, how to stop an abreaction when it starts, as long as you know how to deepen the trance, and this just comes with practice. There's only one thing that separates a good hypnotist from a bad one, and that's practice. It's very difficult to make mistakes if you just hypnotize people. Again, because people don't know what you do or how you do it, as long as you don't say, oops, you can do a lot of things wrong and still be successful with the people that you work with. So let's move forward. Let's talk about the higher self. We had some definitions of higher self yesterday. What were some of them? Erwin, what's your definition of the higher self?
Soul consciousness.
Soul consciousness. Okay. John, what do you think it might be? What's the first thing that... Are you metaphysically oriented, John? Or, that's why I asked you, because you're not. So when that's why I picked on you. So if you hear the word higher self, what does it mean to you, from your perception? It means being up on an elevator someplace, huh? Okay. What does it mean to you?
The higher self means my true self.
Your true self?
I really am.
I like that.
We really are.
What do you think?
Oh, me? Is the inner being.
Okay. And all of these are right, and it's hard to make a mistake when you're dealing with definitions of things that are invisible, intangible. Some of the more acceptable terms are all of those, except for John's going up in an elevator. The pure self, the part of you that is at the core of your being, the true center of consciousness. A lot of people like to quote it as the God self, or the God-like part of you. Whatever it is, we all have to agree that it works behind the scene. It's not something that's thrust out in front of us. If it is, we don't allow our consciousness to see it or work with it. But what it can do is it works behind the scene for the lower, for lack of a better term, physical self. The higher self can give you tremendous insight, tremendous knowledge, tremendous feelings. It can open up, it can answer questions that have been bothering you for forever. You can get the information from that part of you, if you allow yourself to move into that area. How difficult is it to move into that area? Consciously, it's probably extremely difficult. Consciously, not only is it difficult, but if you can somehow figure a way to get there, it's difficult to stay there. Now, of course, some of you who have worked in metaphysics forever know techniques that get you there. But for the average person, the concept itself is so alien, it's very difficult to understand how to get there. But for those of you that get there, it just feels so good, doesn't it? Excellent. How do we help somebody? What is the benefit of moving into your higher self? What can you do there?
I feel like release stress, get information.
Release stress, get some information. What are some of the other benefits of moving into that area? Where was that little voice come from? Increase knowledge. What else?
Behavioral change.
Behavioral change? Yes, because in that area it will give you knowledge of why you're behaving in a negative way. More than directing you to change, it gives you the information to see error of your ways more than anything else. And other things, Erwin?
Well, it allows you to alter your consciousness so that you can see the whole picture, the whole cosmic consciousness of
Yeah.
what makes it all happen.
That's what I like about it. Is it easy to bring that knowledge back to the conscious awareness? For you it is.
With the proper belief system. Like John doesn't have the belief system, so it's almost like that.
John's our corporate giant. This higher self means to him something, a graph on the stock of the company going up higher and higher, you say. But that's okay. He's only been in this is only his third existence on this planet, you say. He's still that materialistic type of guy. Only kidding, John. I know better than that.
You were right on.
How can hypnosis help somebody discover that part of them, to move into it, and to accept what is his up in that area? Well, the beauty of hypnosis is it makes it so easy for people to move into that area. And what happens when you're in that area is almost as unique as the individual themselves. What their willingness is to be open, what their willingness is to accept. And as you know, for those of you who have the ability to move up into that area, you also have pure decision as to whether you choose to accept or reject the information that is presented to you. You are always in control, no matter what. For those of you that move into that area easily, true or false? Of course it is. What might be some of the dangers of getting up into that awareness level?
Find out things you don't want to know?
It's like she says, it's like living in Cleveland. You don't want to leave it, right? That's right.
You hang out there, even though part of you's here, there's still a part of you in Cleveland.
Yeah, like when we're talking about the coma state of hypnosis. In many ways it's similar because it's just such a place you want to be that you have a feeling of joy and happiness. And who wants to leave that, to come back to the stress, the tension, the bigotry, the anger, the resentment, all those joyous blessings that befall us in this world and others that are surrounding us? How about this? Let me ask you, have any of you ever been able to develop the talent of moving to the level of higher self, and then, while remaining in that state, bring your consciousness back in and function, or watch what's going around at you, look at other people while you're in that state? What do you see in those people that you don't normally see? Unless you're in that state. Huh?
They don't even know themselves.
You can see the anger in them, can't you? Where it doesn't reflect on the outside. You can see the pain in other people. Huh? You can see, how about this? Can you see their aura better? Yeah. A little cleaner interpretation of it, possibly. But you can see a lot of things in other people, and a lot of them are negative things that you don't normally see with your conscious mind. And when you see that in other people, what's it do for you? What's one of the benefits? And this is one of the benefits of higher self. What's it do for you? Helps you eliminate those negative things that you see in people from within yourself. To move into this mental conditioning, to this part, has tremendous benefit for every single person. And hypnosis gets you there so simple, so easy. And the beautiful thing about when you're working with a person in hypnosis, and the goal is for you to be teaching other people how to move into this area. When you teach somebody else how to go into this area using hypnosis to do it, you will discover that once the person experiences it, as they experience more and more, the actual process of hypnosis by that individual becomes less and less important, to the point they're really not even consciously using hypnosis to get into the area of higher self. They can basically simply close their eyes and move into it. It's the training process, though, with hypnosis that helps them elevate to those higher levels of awareness. And self-hypnosis is the gift that keeps people and gives them the ability to move up into these areas. One more time, Melissa, and then we're going to get some others up here. And the reason I'm bringing her up, and I'm going to tell you what she told me at the break, whether she likes it or not. She says, thank you. Do you remember saying thank you?
Oh, yeah.
She says, thank you for using me as a victim, a volunteer. She says, because I just don't see, I haven't had the ability to go into hypnosis to the way I thought I should. Was that what you said?
Until today, I was the world's worst hypnosis subject. And it was really starting to bother me because I was trying really hard. And that was...
Say that again.
Yes.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Say, trying is lying.
Trying is lying.
Say it again.
Trying is lying.
If you try, you can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's two mental attitudes you can have in life that have value. You look at it as something you want to do, whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And you say to yourself, am I willing to put in the energy, the effort, the commitment to accomplish this? Or is it really not that important to me? Either one's acceptable. So you can either say, I'm going to do it, and then there's no looking sideways or backwards, you just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can say equally, and it's okay too, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you move aside, and that's okay. But when you pick that one in the middle, I'm going to try to do it,
Mm-hmm.
you're doomed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good place to be. So look at things in the future, decide whether you're going to do it or not do it, and say, by God, I'm going to do it, or by God, I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
Okay? All right. I picked her because she already learned the self-hypnosis technique. And maybe I'll just work a tad with her to make sure she's at the level that we need her to be. Now, the way that I teach, there are ways you all can teach, and you can modify things to fit your personality. I always start with moving people into somnambulism, get them deep enough that we establish that base as our launching point, okay? Let's see how well you retained the knowledge you learned this morning. When I tell you to, I want you to press the thumb and forefinger together with the absolute knowledge, with no doubt whatsoever. You are instantly going to close your eyes, drop right down into that beautiful state you had, even a little bit deeper, and watch how well that works for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready now, press. That's good. Now, just so I can be sure that you're at where we want to be, I'm almost positive, but let's just back up the books a little bit. Once more, I'm going to count from 10 down to 1. With each number, Melissa, just let yourself go more relaxed. Mentally, even more than physically. Just let your mind grow calmer, more peaceful, more quiet. So by the time I reach the count of 1, mentally and physically, you've easily, effortlessly drift much more relaxed. Each gentle press on your shoulder by my hand just helps you to relax much more. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. I want to as you continue to let yourself relax more and more with every breath, I want you to become aware of something about yourself. That there are really basically two parts to who you are. There's the physical part, which you're allowing to relax beautifully at the moment. And there's a mental part. And the mental part has two parts to that. One is your conscious mind, and the other is your subconscious mind. And as you continue to allow your consciousness to relax more and more, to become more at peace, to become more quiet, that different level of mind can become more active and can serve you much better. The area of subconscious, the area of unconscious, and certainly that beautiful area of higher conscious, of higher self, of higher wisdom. I'm going to help you to move into that area of higher self, of higher knowledge, of higher wisdom. It's so very easy to do. Here's how we'll do it. In a moment, I will count this time from 1 up to 10. And the most interesting thing will happen as I do. With each number I count up, your conscious mind and physical body will relax much more. Just go into it knowing that's what you want and that's what will happen. But at another level, another part of you, another part of mind will become lighter, will become freer, will grow higher, and move higher, until by the time I reach the count of 10, you're going to move into a beautiful level of mental awareness. It'll be a bright place. It'll be a place of love. It'll be a place of understanding. It'll be a place of peace. It'll be a place of joy. It'll be a place of learning. It'll be a place where things you need to know, the answers to things, will become very clear to you. Now, Melissa, you can't make this happen. No. All you can do is allow it to happen, to feel my words carry that part of you higher, lighter, freer, and more aware. Let it happen. Watch it happen. Feel its beauty. 1. Now the physical body and conscious mind begin to relax much more as that other part of you begins growing higher and lighter and freer. 2, that part of mind is moving now and lifting, and you feel free from the constraints of that physical part. 4, moving higher now, much higher. 5, you're halfway there. Just feel the beauty, the serenity, and the peace flowing into you. 6, higher now, that special part of you, lighter, more free, more aware. 7, higher and lighter. Feel the beauty starting to come in. Feel the awareness. 8, lighter. 9, we're almost there now. Feel a positive energy. Feel that feeling of love for you, by you. 9. Now be there at 10. Now just stop now and feel. Stop. Become aware. Focus on nothing and focus on everything. Feel what's around you become yours. I'll remain quiet for just a few moments during this time. Explore this part that you're in. Feel its love. Feel the happiness. Feel the completeness during the small period of silence that begins now. It's in this place that this part of you is at. That you have some wonderful abilities. You have the ability to feel things about yourself. And in a moment I'll have you open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you're going to remain in this state, drifting higher every second that your eyes are open. And you're going to look out at the people in front of you. And you're going to notice things different about those individuals that maybe you never noticed before. And it'll be very interesting. You'll look at the people that you know fairly well, and you'll be able to see something different about that individual. You will see clearer now, clearer than you've ever seen, because you'll be able to see not only physical, but much beyond that. And you'll see how it affects you, and how it can help you be what you want to be. Rest for a moment. Feel the pleasure. Feel the joy. Feel the unbridled love. Now in a moment I'm going to ask you to slowly open your eyes. And I want you to look at the individuals that are out in front of you. Take your time. Don't say anything. Just look at them. See what you can discover. I think you'll find it very interesting. At the count of 3, slowly, very slowly allow your eyes to become open. And as your eyes begin to become open, feel yourself moving and lifting and rising even higher. Feel it more joyous. Feel the knowledge. 1, 2, 3. Now just look out at the people in the class. Discover something about an individual. Don't have to say who that individual is. We're not going to get personal here. When you've looked at everybody that you need to look at, when you've seen things a little differently about an individual, close your eyes. And rise higher and higher. That's fine. You have other abilities in this state that we'll talk about a little bit later on. Now in this state of mind that you're in this beautiful area of light and bright awareness, I want you to go inside your soul. Discover something about yourself that in the past has held you back, has caused you to have difficulty reaching a goal in your life. You'll easily be able to discover that. And the beauty of it is, the instant you discover it, it can no longer exist. The instant you discover it, it dies and it goes away. And watch how clearly you can find that in this beautiful state. And when you've discovered whatever it might be, you'll let me know simply by raising your right hand. Fine. And knowledge now destroys its ability to harm you anymore. Those are areas of darkness, and you're in an area of light. And light exposes the negativity that hides in darkness, and you can easily become free. Now here's a gift. I'm going to teach you how to enter this area of higher self all by yourself, anytime you want to. And each time you move into this area of higher self, the knowledge that you'll gain, the wisdom you'll gain, the insight you'll gain will be dramatically stronger than the time before. We entered hypnosis, as you remember, by pressing your right thumb and forefinger together. You'll continue to do that. And when you get into that deep state and you choose to move up into this beautiful area of mind, you will do it in this way. You will press your left thumb and forefinger together. You will do this 4 times. And I'll show you how in a moment. Each time you do it, move you 1/4 of the way higher. By the 4th time, you've moved up into this beautiful area of higher awareness, this beautiful area of higher knowledge and wisdom. I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. You're leaving this area and coming down into deep, pure hypnosis. Then we're going to practice allowing yourself to move up to this beautiful area. And you will come down to the area of regular hypnosis because you know it's in your benefit to do this, as you will be learning how to go back here anytime you want. At the count of 1, you'll be gone from this area and down into this beautiful level of deep hypnosis. 5, drifting down. 4, more and more. 3, 2, 1. Now listen to me very carefully. Going to have you move back up to this beautiful state of mind very easily. All you have to do is know it will happen. Don't look for it. Don't try to help it. Just know it will be there. When I tell you to, you will press your left thumb and forefinger together once. You'll move up about 1/4 of the way of where you were before. When you're there, you'll press it again. When you move halfway up to this beautiful area of lightness, of brightness. When you feel you're there, you'll press it the 3rd time. And then finally the 4th time. Watch how simple this becomes for you. When you're ready, press your thumb and forefinger together of your left hand and feel you very quickly begin to rise from this quiet state, lighter and freer and higher. And when you're ready, press it the 2nd time and you become halfway there. Feel it. Know it. Feel the beauty. And when you're ready, the 3rd time, moving, lifting, rising in peace. And when you're ready, do the final press and feel the absolute love surround you. The beauty, the joy, the wisdom. When you're in this state, the ability that all of us have grown up with, the negative ability of self-criticism, can no longer exist because there's nothing to criticize. When you're in this state, it is never a state where you have any feelings of can't do. It's always can do. It's always absolutely. It's perfect. Anything can be done. Feel the beauty. In this state, you can radiate pure love. You can radiate love to those people around you in absolute purity and discover that you can radiate pure love to yourself. And you can bathe yourself in it. Who reads auras in here? Are any of you close enough to see hers right now? And we should have done this before also. What do you notice? I can see it very clearly. What do you see here? It's not bad, is it?
very good.
Take a look at it now, and then let's look at it after we emerge from hypnosis. Let's see if we can notice the differences. Her, when you read auras, did you say you read auras? Can you see from your distance? With those specs, it might be hard, huh? He's not talking while the flavor lasts. Let me tell you something about this state. Many illnesses that people walk around with are illnesses that are caused by mind, by negative thoughts. Feelings that you cannot feel in this state cause those illnesses. Feelings of anger, hate, and resentment cause illness. In this beautiful state, you are incapable of feeling those feelings. So while you're in this state, your body heals. Because every cell in the physical body, while your mind is in this perfect state, is surrounded, is bathed, is nurtured by love. And there's the secret word to healing. When something is loved deeply, it knows it's cared for, and it chooses life instead of death. So feel the passion of you for you in this state. Feel the love for you in this state. And send that feeling throughout the physical part of you. When I tell you, when I ask you to, I want you to open your eyes, look out at the gang, and you're going to notice even more detail about certain people. We won't mention who they are. You're going to notice things about those people you'll see clearly. Because you're developing now a capability of vision that is not necessarily the vision of the eyes, but is more a capability of a vision with your third eye. It's up here. Slowly open your eyes and look at the class. And when you look at a person, I want you to look 6 inches above their head with your eyes. And you'll have a different awareness of that individual. You'll detect something about that person. You'll find some negative characteristics that normally you don't see. Close your eyes and bathe in the beauty, in the peace, and the joy. You'll easily be able to move in this level simply by the 4 pinches of your fingers. And we'll reinforce that for you a little later. As I count from 5 down to 1, come down to the deep level of hypnosis. Leave the area of higher self knowing you can return to this area any time. But I'm going to put one restriction on it. The 4 pinch of the fingers will not work unless you do something first. You will simply say to yourself, I am now entering the area of higher self, and you'll give yourself a time limit. Because, as we know, we can have a tendency to want to stay here a little bit too long. So this will bring you right back down at the time limit. So whatever that time limit is, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 seconds, you'll give yourself that time limit first. All right, at the count of 1, be right back down in deep hypnosis, knowing you can come back here at any time. 5, 4, 3, feel the heaviness come back in. 2, 1. Now in a moment I'm going to emerge you. When I do, we'd love to hear your impressions of your journey into that part of your mind. At the count of 3, eyes open, fully alert, and you're going to discover something. You're going to discover a little something inside of you has changed. You're going to have that awareness. You'll have that awareness. At the count of 3, eyes open, fully alert. 1, 2, 3. Now open those eyes and notice how good you feel. How do you feel?
Incredible.
Incredible. That's a nice word, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What was it like for you? Tell us as you journeyed up into that different level of mind.
Well, it was interesting. It was very different. A lot of light and a lot of just feeling good.
Feeling good.
Feeling love.
Mm-hmm. Place you like to be again.
Oh, yes.
Without mentioning any names, I don't want you to mention any names. Tell me some of the things you noticed in your classmates. Could you discover anything about those individuals that normally you wouldn't have seen?
There was a lot of love and there was a lot of power, but there was also pain.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a working on balancing those things.
Could you see things differently than in your normal state when you look at them when you were there?
Mm-hmm.
Clearer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Makes you understand them a little bit better, doesn't it? Makes you a little less critical about people than you've been before, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If you noticed any little tingling difference inside of you, go inside yourself and just see if you can discover something that you've gained from it.
Well, different all over. While I was there, my hands and feet were vibrating, it seemed.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, kind of a, I'm speechless, obviously, kind of a overwhelming universalness, a connection.
That's well put, a connection.
A connection that went up and then came back down again to everybody.
Did you come back when I counted from 5 down to 1 reluctantly?
Yeah.
There's an energy, isn't it? Yeah, there's no questions about that, you see. As long as you don't resist and as long as you don't want it to the point where you can't have it, everybody can rise up into this beautiful place. And it is a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to practice that now. Mm-hmm. Now, you see how I did it. Now, you can modify this technique any way you want with an individual. I've just discovered if you bring them up, bring them down, bring them up again, bring them down, code them with that finger pinch technique. Over the years, we used to try it in different ways. We'd say, now you press your fingers and instantly you'll be back up there again. That didn't work very well for most people. It seems they need a little bit more time to work their way up. So we worked at 2 pinches, and it was better. But it seems like they need that little time. Did you need that little time after a pinch to kind of feel yourself go up to that point, then stabilize? Now you notice I said when you feel you're at that point, then press your fingers again and move up to the next level. If I would have said, now, press your fingers and boom, you're right there again, there's a very good chance that that wouldn't have happened. Not in the beginning, not when somebody is first learning. Bring them up in the steps. Give them the opportunity. You notice I didn't put a time limit on it either. I said, when you know you've reached that point, press your fingers again. And you can be up there also. And you can be up to that next level. And that worked well for you, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It did.
Yeah. Works good. Now, you're ready for that. You were ready for this. Who have never been into this area feels ready to go there, feels no inhibition to go there at all. Jane? Okay, you go back to your seat and you can play with your new skill. Come on down here, Jane.
That was a wonderful game.
No hug, huh? Oh, well.
Do I get one?
Okay. Come on up, Jane. Jane was my nemesis in the last class, always yelling at me. But she's okay. She's got a good soul and a good heart. You have not worked in this area at all?
The only way I channel healing energy, so I can feel energy coming in. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Let me rephrase it for you.
Okay.
You're tired of being used. You want to take control of using yourself, you see.
But it is. Well, years ago, I sing, and when I sing, I'd be in front of an audience, and I'd go into the state of euphoria, and I didn't know what it was. And I still don't know exactly what it was. I just know that I'd look at people, and everybody was wonderful, and I loved everything. And so I figured from studying metaphysics that must be a higher level of consciousness, but what level, I don't know.
Okay. That wasn't in the 60s, was it?
Probably.
That's right.
Were you eating sugar before that in any way, or? We're only kidding. If you want this, you can't have it. In other words, if you try to help, you can't have it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you do your channeling, I don't know how you do that, and I don't want to know right now, but you've honed that to a fine skill. You know how to do that, and it works perfectly for you. Let me be your guide in teaching you how to do this, and I think that you'll really enjoy it, and I think you'll get a lot of benefit out of it. It'll expand you to the point... Hey, I don't know about you, but some people who channel quite heavily, I don't know if you channel heavily or not, it creates a degree of wear and tear on them. They feel tired. Do you ever feel tired after those sessions?
Mm-mm.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it saps them a little bit. I'm glad it doesn't happen to you.
Mm-mm.
So you're completely disassociated from it.
Well, what I get is its intention. I mean, the reason I can bring the energy in is intention. And generally, I ask that the energy that comes in be from the cosmic forces, and I'm not using my own life force energy.
Okay.
So
That's the right way to do it.
that's what I was taught.
Okay. Not everybody's taught that way, though.
No,
Okay. Let's move into somnambulism, and we'll see if Jane will allow herself to follow instructions. Okay? Take a long, deep breath, fill up your lungs real good, and hold it for a second. Now exhale and close your eyes down. And let your body begin to relax. Get rid of that surface tension. It's not important now. Put your awareness on your eyelids. Relax those eyes completely. Relax them to the point they won't work. And when you know you've done that, then give them a good test. Make sure they just won't work. That's fine. Stop testing. Let yourself relax even more. Take that feeling of relaxation in your eyes and send it down throughout your entire body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Let go every muscle, nerve, and fiber, and let yourself relax very deeply. And enjoy that passive, tranquil feeling. Now in a moment I'll ask you to open and close your eyes, and when you do, let this physical relaxation grow 10 times deeper. Want that? It can be yours. Let your eyes become open, close your eyes, and just allow a wave of relaxation to flow through you. That's good. In a moment I'll have you open and close your eyes again. This time when you close your eyes, double this relaxation. Let it be there. Let your eyes become open, close your eyes. Much more relaxed. Now in a moment we'll do it one more time, and again this time really let go. Really let that relaxation come in. Let your eyes become open, way down. That's good. Now, I haven't hypnotized you in a long time, so I want to make sure that you've accepted these suggestions for physical relaxation. I'm going to lift you in a moment. I'll lift your right hand by the wrist, not very high, just to see if you followed these instructions, because if you have, that arm will be as heavy as a dish rag. Don't help me lift. And when it drops down, it'll just plop down. When that happens, let yourself grow much deeper into relaxation. Perfect. You're doing great. Way down. You've got plenty of physical relaxation. Now let's get that mind relaxed. Let's really let that mind disassociate from the consciousness. In a moment I'll have you count backwards out loud, starting with the number 100. With each number you say, double that mental relaxation. With each number you say, let a beautiful peace, let a beautiful tranquility come into this part of you called mind. So that after you say just a few numbers, it doesn't take long, you've relaxed your mind so completely, you've relaxed all the rest of the numbers out. Let it happen. All right? Slowly begin counting out loud, starting with the number 100, and relax those numbers right out.
100.
That's fine.
99. 98.
That's good.
97.
Now you can let them start to drift away. And let them be gone. All gone? Good. Now let's see if we can relax just a little bit more. I'm going to count from 10 to 1 with each number I say. Just let that mind and body relax together beautifully as a team. So by the time I reach the count of 1, mentally, physically, you've easily let yourself drift much calmer, much deeper, relaxed. And each gentle press on my hand on your shoulder just helps you to become more comfortable, more relaxed. All right, I'll begin. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. That's fine. And continue to let yourself drift much deeper with every breath you exhale. You know, because you have studied many aspects of mind, that there are so many different parts of us. And you know you have that physical part of you and that conscious mind of yours. Now I ask you to allow the physical part of you and the conscious mind to continue to relax as we continue, to stay out of the picture, to enjoy something else, but not to follow us, and to let that part of you disassociate from that other part of mind. I'm going to help you move up into a very special area now, Jane. An area of higher mind, an area of higher self, an area of absolute joy, of peace, of awareness, of knowledge, of learning. It's very easy to do. Just allow the words to flow over you. Expect the feelings and they'll be there. Allow the feelings and they'll come. But don't try to help them or you'll block. As I count from 1 up to 10, we're moving up into that other area, that beautiful, beautiful area of higher self, of higher mind, of higher love. You'll know so much about everything there. You'll know what you need to know. Let it happen. All right. 10, the physical body now, 1, the physical body now becomes heavier. The conscious mind becomes deeper relaxed. But another part of you, another part of mind begins moving upward now, too. That part of you is just moving and lifting and feels light and free. 3, higher now, higher it moves. And that physical part of you grows deeper and deeper relaxed. 4, into an area now, an area of beauty. And 5, you're halfway up there. You're already able, if you look around you, to start feeling new feelings, new lightness. 6, moving higher, lighter, freer. 7, your mind begins to grow clear and bright and free. 8, moving and lifting and rising, feeling light, and the brightness comes in and the peace comes in. 9, feel the beauty now as you're lighter than you've ever been in mind, more knowledgeable, more alive. 10, now feel the beauty of this. Feel the joy of this area. Feel it flow into every part of you. Just allow your mind to rise higher with every breath. Allow your feelings to feel. Allow the knowledge to flow. Feel it. Know it. Love it. Let it be. Discover yourself during the period of quiet that begins now. As you allow yourself to drift higher with every gentle breath you inhale, allow yourself, just feel yourself becoming more aware of what happens around you. Allow yourself to absorb the knowledge and the wisdom, the understanding and the compassion that is yours. This is a self-exploration. Outside forces of knowledge, we're not letting them in right now. This is a part of you discovering a different part of you. A part of you discovering the love, the joy, the beauty, the tranquility, the knowledge. As you become more comfortable in this space, as you become more comfortable in this place, you begin to become aware of things about yourself. Things that maybe in the past you've overlooked. Simple things. You're able now to understand that you are a beautiful and unique creation, one of a kind. You begin to know that you're goodness. You can no longer in this level feel any criticism, and you realize that any mistakes of your past were merely learning experiences that allowed you to grow and move and evolve. And in this level, you can feel the absolute beauty of love for you, by you. Because now, maybe for the first time, you realize you're worth it, that it is you, and that you were placed here to love and to feel these feelings and to learn. Once more, I'm going to give you a period of silence, and when I do, allow this part of mind to flow through you. Surround every cell with love. Surround every cell with beauty. Expose the dark places with brilliant light of love. And any negative thoughts can leave. Anything that's held you back can no longer exist. And you can become lighter and freer than you've ever been before. Do that now. Find those dark spots. Light them brightly and send them love and bathe yourself in it. The purity, the joy. With every breath you exhale, you expel any remnants of negativity because they're not allowed. With every breath you exhale, all negativity is gone. And the pure joy of this level penetrates every part of you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. We can't give love to other people, not the pure love that's required for healing, unless we love ourselves. At the count of 3, I want you to open your eyes slowly. And I want you to look out at your classmates. Look a few inches above their heads. And feel with that other part of you, see with that other part of you things that you've not seen in them before. And if you see something negative, if you see something painful, you don't have to look at that person directly. Just remember. All right? Slowly open your eyes and look at your classmates and discover things you haven't seen before. people you saw were bathed in love. Other people had some pain, some suffering. And as you move even higher, I want you to take that pure love that you found for yourself. And I want you to focus it at that individual or two that you see who are suffering, who have pain. And like a rifle bullet, send them that pure love, that healing love. They'll feel it. They'll feel it. Surround them with it. That's good. That's good. I'm going to show you, like I did with Melissa, how you can enter this state anytime by yourself. We'll do it exactly the same way. In a moment, I'll count from 5 down to 1. You'll come on back down to a nice deep level of regular hypnosis. Then when I tell you to, and not before, you'll press your left thumb and forefinger together. We'll do it 4 times. The first time will bring you a quarter of the way back up into this beautiful state. The second time will bring you halfway. The third time, 3/4. And the fourth time will even bring you higher into this beautiful state of mind than you've been so far. At the count of 1, right back down in that deep level of hypnosis. 5, leaving here and drifting down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the heaviness comes back in. Now, when you're ready, well, let me start it. When I tell you to, you will press your thumb and your left thumb and forefinger together. And you'll come about a quarter of the way up. Then when you know you've reached that level, you'll press again, and you'll come about halfway up to that beautiful level. When you know you've done that, you'll press the third time, and you'll be 3/4 of the way up. And when you know you've done that finally, you'll press the 4th time, and you will enter even higher levels than you did before. Know it, watch it happen. Get ready for the first press, and now. Now feel yourself rising higher. And when you know you've got to that, press your second time, and you elevate even more. And the mind is freer and brighter. And when you're ready, the 3rd time. And now you'll notice at the 3rd time you're just as high as you were before, even higher, but you have another one to go. Watch what happens when you're ready now. Now, lighter, freer. Feel it. Make your connection with the universe now. Just feel it come in. Feel the knowledge. Feel the beauty. Yeah. I want to talk to the class, so I just want you to stay here and enjoy this state. Learn from this state. Let it be there, and I'll be back with you shortly. This is a marvelous way to help people move up into this level. You see how simple it is. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be complicated. Once you start with somnambulism, everything gets easier to do. Melissa climbed that ladder perfectly. All of you can do it. Even John. All he has to do is let go, you see, and he can have it too. It's a place of self-healing. It's a place where you can surround yourself with love. Let me tell you one thing. If you've had a bad day at work, and somebody over there might tell me whether I'm right or wrong on this, Barb, you have a bad day at work, you go up into this level for a few minutes, where's all the stress and tension of that day go? Cleveland. You feel great. You become alive again. You become free. And the beautiful thing about people who learn this and move into this, and I can see it on Barbara's face, I can see it on Erwin's face, I can see it on Paula's face, and 1 or 2 other kissers out there. But the one thing that develops with individuals who know this you will never hear them criticize other people. They are not the type of people who knock other people, who say other people are less than. These people, no matter what they do in their conscious state, seem to support and buoy the people they come up against, because this feeling of love for others retains itself even in the normal consciousness, and you can sense being around these people. You can sense the beauty of what they're sending you. That's why when I stand around people or know people, I love being around people who have been here and who go to this level, because they buoy me. They sense maybe when I'm tired or when I'm down, they put their arm around me and say, if not physically, they'll say it psychically, come on, you can do it, go get them. Nothing's going to stop you. This is what is radiated from people, unconsciously by them. It's not a conscious thought pattern. It's that they carry the concept of inability to feel negativity to their conscious level more and more as they learn this and practice it more and more. In a moment, I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. You'll leave this state knowing you can go back to it any time you want to, easily and effortlessly. And we'll talk about some of the things that you felt, or maybe that you've seen out there with the others. All right? 5, leave this area now knowing you can come back to it any time. 4, coming right back down to deep hypnosis. 3, even deeper. 2, 1, and that heavy, deep, beautiful feeling of physical relaxation is permeated within you. Now, Jane, I'll emerge you from this state in a moment. When I do, your eyes will open, fully alert. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel better than you ever thought you could feel in a long, long time. Because inside here, you're going to have a sensation and knowledge. Something's a little bit different, and it's a good thing. All right, at the count of 3, eyes open, fully alert, and notice how good it feels. 1, 2, 3. Open those eyes and notice how good it feels. How do you feel?
Fine.
Kind of surprised yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Oh,
What was it like?
nice vacation.
A nice vacation.
Oh, everybody else should feel better, too. I was like, I'm sending so much energy out.
When you looked out, when I had you open your eyes and look out, what did you see out there?
I saw some people...
No names.
Oh, I know. I saw some people really radiant and happy, and other people looked kind of...
Yeah.
And I felt like everybody should be radiant and happy, so...
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could you think any negative thoughts about yourself?
No. Mm-mm.
Did you light up the dark areas?
Mm.
That felt great, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, except for the tears, that was like...
Don't worry about tears. Those were not tears of sadness, were they?
No.
They were tears of joy, of release, of happiness. Those are good tears. There's nothing wrong with having a good tear for that, is there? Now you know you can go up there anytime you want to, too, can't you?
Effortlessly.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And it'll give you balance. With the channeling now, you can balance and go on up there and absorb from more from yourself, more from general knowledge, instead of just accepting one focus of knowledge. Now you can broaden your focus of knowledge and allow all sorts of goodies to come in that you can use, instead of just channeling and let it go out to others, you see. So that's a great thing, but you got to practice it until it becomes...
Wonderful understanding.
You felt that, too?
Yes. Yes.
Good. That's $10, please.
You want a tip, too?
I'm afraid to ask what it is. Get out and stay out. 2 tips. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Growing up with her must have been fun.
I just wanted to ask Lucas how it was in her. A lot of lavender and orange.
Melissa, come up here a second. We didn't check that. Let's have a look at you. Just stand here. Pull up your shirt. Ruth, tell me, do you see any subjective difference now in where she was when she was in hypnosis?
It's smaller.
It's reduced. Do you see a little orange in there?
Yeah, and around her head.
I'm real close. I can see some orange in here. Yeah. That might be that red hair reflecting off the fluorescence. Oh, yeah, she's all right. But it just shows that it's different when you're in that state, when you're not in that state.
seen her
Maria.
fill the room. It just
I
went
can't
beautiful, golden.
But I could see when Lisa was there, I felt very much connected with Lisa. And without opening my eyes, anyway, I was not only seeing, but feeling the brilliant blue, and exactly like you said, the pink and the blue. It's a special blue.
It's not like having the blues, is it? It's a different kind of blue. Yeah.
And then, again, with my eyes closed, I see the lavender on her, but I don't know, is that pink or with my eyes closed? Oh, well, it's more like you see.
Yeah. You can get an impression. It's almost like a camera creates a negative of something, and you can see things in a negative. For example, like when you take Kirlian photography, you can take a picture of somebody's hand. You may not see their aura while you're doing it, but you will see it brilliantly on the Kirlian Polaroid when it comes out. Now, many people are like you. You can stare at a person and become simpatico with them mentally, and then close your eyes, and you can see the outline around that individual. Now, I'm not visual. I can see auras. I've been trained to do that. But it's very easy for me to take a look at somebody, powerfully stare at them, and close my eyes. Now, I can't see them, but I can see a perfect outline of their body, and I can see the different colors. And that's nice. I like to do that. It doesn't require any visualization technique.
I don't see, you know, I'm very much, she's me and I am her. So I just see the colors. It's not in her shape, anything like it's just the blue and the pink mix.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see her again, when she's there, I see the lavender. And again, it's not around her shape or, so I don't know.
I don't know either. Ask somebody who's even more experienced about what that might be. I don't have your answer. Bob, you got any thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people who do that. They see the colors after they close their eyes, but don't necessarily see the person or anything. I also see, I know a couple of people that don't see the person when they look at the person's gone, they just see the color.
And that's what she said. She doesn't see the person, she sees the color. That's the way you process it. If you haven't been working with it a long time, it probably will change as you practice with techniques. But that's the way you process it right now. That's the Spanish way. Hot colors, you see. Hot pink. Any other questions about that kind of a technique? Moving up into the area of higher self. It's a Christmas present for people. The negatives are what were said before, a reluctance of coming out of it. I guess, Jane, you felt kind of reluctant. At least it looked like you didn't particularly care to leave that area. We know Melissa was ready to call the U-Haul agency and move in. And there is a reluctance in the beginning, but you notice as you practice going in and out of that, you don't worry about that. You'll come in and out of it. But the beauty of it is what you feel about yourself and the knowledge you can gain in that area. So you should practice going in and out of it all the time. And the people that you teach this skill to will love you for it. I mean, you don't even have, when I was doing hypnosis with non-metaphysical people, I used to do this with a lot of my clients. I would never mention words like higher self. I would say into a different level of awareness. See, they can understand this, you see, but if you say we're going to move into higher self and higher now, then they say, oh God, what have I met up with here? But you can get people and you can say, you can move into an area of understanding of subconscious mind. They like that. That's something they can put a label on. And you'll notice as you move into the area of the subconscious, I always say that, you feel lighter, freer, brighter, and you're moving right up into the area of higher self, which they never would consider. For example, we would do something like this with John. Of course, we wouldn't tell him what we were doing. And that's a DRT technique, dirty, rotten trick. And we could have John up there also, only he would not be aware of this is what we were doing. He would have thought this was a regular, standardized stress reduction hypnosis session for corporate giants, you see. And it would work just as well for him. and he'd like to go back there, but don't ever tell him you're moving him, doing a metaphysical technique with him, because otherwise he'll run screaming into the night, you say, and wouldn't like it very much. Any questions on how to do that?
Sorry. What are the differences, similarities between that and a coma state?
Coma state there's a very important difference. The area of higher self is an area of knowledge, of learning, of self-love. It's a state of you, of learning about you, of feeling you. The coma state becomes more of an external thing. It's enjoying where you are and what's happening around you. Like some people will interpret the coma state as going to a party. In other words, it's what makes you feel the best at that particular point when you're doing it. It can be a rock and roll party, for example, or it can be an area of very quiet solitude. But it's external, really, more than looking inside. Do you understand what I mean? You're not gaining any knowledge or wisdom in the coma state. It's more sensory. It's more... I don't know exactly the term I'm looking for. I had it a minute ago. But there's a very big difference. In the areas of higher self, you're able to gain wisdom, knowledge. You're able to send love through yourself. You're able to heal yourself.
Without being told by anybody.
Yeah. In the coma state, you don't do any of those things. It's more just a sensual state of pleasure. And that's the extent of it. And I hesitate to use the word, maybe I used the wrong word, sensual. That can be misinterpreted. It's not necessarily sexual, although it could be if that's what you wanted to be at, you see.
Well, don't they claim on deep hypnosis period that the body is healing itself about 7 8?
I'm sorry, I was listening to this lech up here, this lawyer.
I didn't know he was talking.
We were talking about sensual and sexual. I looked at him and he goes, "Stop reading my mind." It was like that new show on television, the John Larroquette show. Did you ever see the commercial? This girl saying to him, she says, "You know, it's statistically proven that a man has a sexual thought every 15 seconds. And he goes, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" Go ahead.
No, I was wondering, anybody in just a normal deep hypnotic trance, I feel I've probably documented as this right enough people besides me that possibly without any psychic healing, without any transfer of energy or laying on the hands or anything, that the body just from that relaxation is healing itself about 8 times faster than normal.
There's absolutely no question about this.
And then if you add the other, boy, you are good bringing in a white.
Deep relaxation in and by itself is a healing area to be in. It's so easy to comprehend and understand. Look at it this way. You hurt yourself. I don't care. Let's say you stuck a pin in your arm or you cut yourself badly. You have a certain degree of pain. But what happens to the muscles around that injury? They tense up. And because they tense up, it causes more pain. And because you have more pain, what happens to the muscles? They tense even more until the amount of pain you're feeling is so much greater than it has to be if that area was relaxed. You can take that area of injury and through hypnosis give absolute deep suggestions of total relaxation. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're totally relaxed in an injured area, you can't feel pain. It blocks that. So it can also heal. You eliminate shock, and your body is going to heal dramatically faster if you give it the opportunity to be relaxed while it's healing. Now you add to it the metaphysical constructs and the metaphysical abilities. Well, instead of healing 10 times faster, you can go 100 times faster or 1,000 times faster, depending on your abilities. Of course. Absolutely. You know, and the beauty of it is now alternative concepts have gained federal recognition, haven't they? And you're aware now in the federal government there has been an Office of Alternative Medicine set up, thanks to Hillary. I don't know when you're going to be watching this tape, but our one-term President Clinton is in there and his wife is doing some great stuff. God, if he gets reelected, I'm in trouble, aren't I? Okay.
When you ask for volunteers, you ask
those that thought they were ready.
Yeah.
What if you didn't have that affirmative thought? Would you be able to accomplish the same thing?
I'm not going to say you wouldn't be able to accomplish it. I'm going to say it's much more difficult for you to do it. There is a readiness for change and for learning. People have to be in that position to move into that area. Two things cause readiness for learning and change. What are those two things?
Pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering. Until you've had enough pain, until you've had enough of being tied up in this conscious crunch that you've allowed yourself in, until you've said, I've had it, I've reached my limitations, I can't seem to move and shift and evolve from this position, damn it, I'm going to do something or I'm stuck. Until you've experienced all of that, you're going to remain in that rut, and you are not going to allow yourself to learn new things and to experience new things. So whenever you deal with metaphysical things and metaphysical skills, it's not metaphysical. What am I talking about? Whenever you're trying to help somebody learn something new, I don't care what it is, they got to want it, and they got to be ready to accept the knowledge. If they're not, I don't care if you're teaching them tire changing. If they don't want to learn it, they're not going to learn it. If they're worried about getting their hands dirty, they're not going to let themselves do that kind of work.
My thought is that we're all hypnotherapists here, for the most part.
Hypotists?
And we sometimes, don't feel we're ready. How would you think there would be some criterions for bothering or saying, no, I don't think you're ready for this?
That's a feeling you have when you talk to people. You look at people, and there's a whole package that's presented in front of you. You can see people like, well, look out there. Look at Paula. Look at Melissa. Look at Erwin, for example. Look at Fred. Fred's half here, he's half gone. Who are just absolutely like leaning back and are calm and are radiating this peacefulness and this readiness. On the other hand, you look at Norm. Norm seems tight inside. You see, you seem a little tight inside. And when you see people who are tight, not from alcohol, of course that could happen too, you see. These individuals, you have a question in your mind whether they will accept the instruction and direction. So then once you have that, you have two choices. You can move with that person, knowing that if it doesn't work, it's not your fault as the hypnotist, other than that maybe you shouldn't have attempted the process with that individual, you should have known better. Or the reality of it is it's their fault, they didn't follow your instruction. Now you asked that question for what reason?
Well, it seems like if you have some reservation about attempting this with us, knowing that we're more open than the average person, having been through your courses, etc., etc., that out there in the real world where you're dealing with people that have very little understanding, that it would be rare.
Many times working with people with no hypnosis training is one whale of a lot easier than working with people with hypnosis training. Why? The person who is a trained hypnotist are usually the toughest people to get to shut off their conscious minds. Wow, I'm working with Jerry Kein. Somebody told me he knew something about hypnosis. I'll lay here and listen to his technique and see if I can learn something that I can use. Oh, whoopity-doo. That's really a bypass of the critical factor, you see. Very exciting stuff. Or the other type of people that are many times very difficult to work with are the metaphysically trained people, because they try to add to what you're doing with other skills they've learned. And that stops the critical factor from being bypassed. Now think of this. Just think of this. Wonder what would happen if you had somebody with hypnosis training and metaphysical training. Good grief, is that going to be the toughest people in the world to work with? Probably, other than taking somebody who comes in from the blue, says, okay, I'm ready to do something that makes me feel good. Oh, baby, give me those all day long. They'll follow your instructions real easy. They're not going to look for some neat little technique they can incorporate in their hypnosis office. They're not going to add a metaphysical skill because they don't have one. These are the easiest of all, and boy, are they grateful. You take somebody like that who has a life that's in the pits, in the dog dumper, and you do, the technical term, and you do to them what Jane and Melissa had, they look at you as some kind of a god-like object when they open their eyes. And you look at them and go, well, it was very easy. See, I'm a skilled hypnotist.
Jerry, do we have to have someone else bring us to this state, or can we achieve it by ourselves? For the first time.
With hypnosis, let me narrow it down to what I teach. With hypnosis, it seems you need the second party to help you get there. Now, there are other people who may be able to teach you some other techniques that you're able to achieve on your own. That's not my area of expertise. This is how I know how to help my clients move up into these areas. You want to go there, don't you?
Don't we all?
Oh, I don't know. I'm a little worried about John. He says, I think I'd rather stay here. I'm not interested in going to northern Cleveland. Okay. We worked with it a little bit with those who know how to do it. But all of us can develop the ability to read an aura. This is not a difficult procedure. The problem is to read an aura, if you look at somebody, pardon me, ma'am, may I stare at your aura? You're not going to see it, you see. You don't see the aura out of the center of the eyeball. You can look from now until Cleveland turns Democratic, and you're not going to see that aura. But you can train people very easily to read auras. What is an aura? A life force? An energy field? Yeah. But it's more of a life force. It's an interesting thing because it surrounds all animate and non-animate objects. In other words, not only people have auras, but some of the most beautiful auras you can ever look on. I remember one day I was in a real state of, I don't know where I was, but I was just leaning back, and I was in my brother's backyard up in New Jersey. We had a busy day. It was in the summertime, and he had the most beautiful oak tree you ever saw. I'm sorry, a maple tree. And I remember leaning back in his chair, kind of tired, half dozing off, and here's this maple leaf hanging over in front of my face. And I just said, let me look at this leaf. And I looked at it, and I saw the most brilliant, gorgeous aura of that leaf you could have ever possibly seen. That was the healthiest leaf I've... I said to my brother, I said, what a beautiful tree. He says, it better be for the amount of money I spent on fertilizer for this thing, you see. But I'm sure it was much more than that. I said, Donnie, do you go out and talk to this tree a lot? He goes, oh yeah. He says, it's my favorite tree, you see. So there's auras and leaves. Some people call it a non-physical matrix. That's fine. But auras can be felt. Auras can be seen. Auras can be photographed. Even the medical world admits there's a energy field. And it's a measurable energy field that we can measure with sensitive instrumentation. How many of you can feel other people's auras if you can't see them? You ever try that? Hold your hand up a minute, just like that. Just like that. Now, when you work with people without even looking at them, we have this thing. We don't want anybody coming sometimes too close to us because they get into our space. What does that mean? You're getting close to my aura, man. Don't get too close to my aura, you say. And there it is. Right with him, it comes out to here. Not only can I feel it, I can see it. That's a strong aura. That's a very strong aura. Strong energy field. Are you in love?
Not at the moment.
That's why you have so much energy. You see, you're storing it up. Love weakens you. You see, you're giving out all this energy. If you can't feel a person's aura, you can develop the ability to feel it. And it's very easy to do. You just take your hand, put it up against their hand like this, and rub it. Just rub it. Then, when you try to pull it away, you can feel a resistance, a polarity to pulling it away. And now when you come in, now I can feel it all the way out here. I can feel the pressure of it. I can feel it beautifully right here. Now you'll notice, for those of you who can see, it's a little stronger than it was before. Of course, we tickled it. We made it stronger in that area. And it's very easy to see auras. Now, who in here cannot see an aura? Of course, John, I know that. Roy can't see an aura. Jane can't. Fred can't. You can't?
These ticker tapes.
Ticker tapes. Let me see this young lady up here. What's your first name? I forgot.
Barbara.
Barbara.
And I love the way you said young.
Young. We're all young. Can't be old until you're here for your 100th visit, you say. Was it Brian Rice said in a recent article where he was talking about past lives? Some reporter, magazine up in the room up here in the motel says, how often do people come back? And he said, well, it seems like about 100 times at least, or something like that. So you don't get old until it's your 120th time.
Good.
All right? And since you're only working on maybe your 80th, you're still a punk kid. Are you a hypnotist like the rest of these folks out here?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay. Now, you are an individual who's metaphysically oriented.
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. What are your skills, if any, that you've developed with this?
I feel the energy of people.
Okay.
I believe I do some channeling.
Okay.
Not formalized. I feel it, and I work with people, and I can feel their pain.
Where are you from?
North Carolina.
I detected that.
You didn't think New Jersey, did you?
Sexy little voice I heard you say. Something about Southern women, they just kind of make you melt all over.
Wonderful.
Take your glasses off and put them over there next to mine, if you would. Oh?
Gosh.
I'm really starting to worry about you people. This class is not going to be allowed to degenerate. We're staying on track. That's what happens when you work with hypnotists. All right, you about as comfortable as you can be in that chair? Okay. Watch my hand out here. You don't have to look at me anymore. I know I'm gorgeous. It's okay to look over here.
Yes, sweet energy.
I know. Take a long, deep breath, fill up your lungs, and hold it for a second. Now exhale and close your eyes down and begin to let your body relax. Now, I've never worked with you before, and you're not a member of my previous class, so this might be a new experience for you to enter hypnosis using this type of an induction. I think you'll enjoy it tremendously. Place your awareness on your eyelids. Now, let's understand something about your muscles. Your muscles must do what you tell them to do. They don't have to do anything I tell them to do. So simply take my words and direct those parts of your body to respond in the way I suggest, and you'll find you can do that very easily. Place your awareness on your eyelids. Now really let those eyelids relax beautifully. Let those eyelids relax so completely, so totally, that unless you choose to remove that relaxation, they just couldn't work. You know, you can always make them work, but you'd have to remove relaxation. That's not what you want to do. When you know that you've relaxed those muscles completely to the point they won't work, hold on to it and give them a good test. Make sure they won't work. Notice how good it feels. That's great. Stop testing. Let your eyes relax much more. Take that feeling you're allowing in your eyes, bring it up to the top of your head, and imagine it like a warm wave of relaxation flowing from the top of your head down your body right down to the tip of your toes. Let every muscle relax beautifully. Now watch how quickly you can deepen this physical relaxation. Watch how easy it is. In a moment I'll ask you to open and close your eyes. When you close your eyes, let this physical part of you grow 10 times deeper relaxed. It's so easy to do. All you have to do is want it, and it'll be there for you. All right? Let your eyes become open. Close your eyes. Now really let go. Let every muscle, nerve, and fiber grow very deeply relaxed. Fine, doing well. In a moment, I'll ask you to open and close your eyes again. This time when you close your eyes, double this relaxation. This time really let it grow twice as deep. Let your eyes become open. Close your eyes. Way down, much more relaxed. Now in a moment we're going to do that one more time, and again this time when you close your eyes, double that relaxation. Once more now, let your eyes become open. Way down. Perfect. Now you saw me work with the others. In a moment I'm going to lift your right hand just to find out if you were able to accept these simple suggestions. And if you have, it'll just be heavy as a piece of lead. And when I let it drop down to your leg, it'll plop down. When that happens, let yourself relax much more. Don't try to help me lift. You know that's not what we do here. Let me do all the lifting. Oh, you got it. Perfect. Way down. That's great. She's great. She's doing super. We have plenty of physical relaxation. Now let's get that mental relaxation. Here's how we'll do it. In a moment, I'll ask you to slowly begin counting out loud backwards, starting with the number 100. After each number, double your mental relaxation. Now, if you do this, you'll find that after you say a few numbers, it doesn't take very long. You've relaxed your mind so completely, you've actually relaxed all the rest of the numbers out. And boy, it feels good to get rid of numbers. They rule us. And notice how good it feels when that happens. You want it, and you can have it. Okay? Slowly now, begin counting out loud backwards, starting with the number 100. Double the mental relaxation between each number, and relax those numbers right out of your mind.
100.
That's fine. Double that relaxation now. That's great. Now they're almost gone. Now they're gone. Numbers all gone? Yeah. Mind relaxed and the body's relaxed. Now let's see if we can get you relaxed just a little bit more. As I count from 10 down to 1, with each number I say, let yourself relax much deeper. So by the time I reach the count of 1, mentally, physically, you've easily let yourself drift more and more relaxed. All right. 10. Each gentle press of my hand on your shoulder also helps you to relax even more. 9. That's good. 8. Deeper. 7. Deeper. 6. Deeper. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Mind relaxed, the body's relaxed. Become aware now how easy it is for you to continue to relax mentally and physically much more with every gentle breath you exhale. Just notice how that helps you just to go a little deeper with each breath. And notice how good it feels. She's a marvelous subject, isn't she? Okay. In this level of hypnosis, it's a very special level where you can have many things become available to you. But there's levels that are higher. Not higher physically, but there are levels of mind that become lighter and freer and brighter, and that you have wonderful abilities that are there, have always been there, but become available to you. I'm going to count from 1 up to 10. As I do, with each number you'll find your physical body and conscious mind relax even more. But you're going to discover a new part of you feels lighter and freer and more aware. A wonderful feeling. Watch it happen. Feel the release. All right? 1. Now your physical body grows much deeper, but a new feeling of lightness, of brightness begins to flow inside of you. 2 and 3. A beautiful feeling of moving and lifting and rising in another part of your mind. A release, a freedom. 4 and 5. A feeling of brightness, of lightness, of joy. And 6, just feeling more and more alive, more and more free, more and more beautiful in mind and body and spirit. And higher, higher, higher. 8, 9, alive, in love, feel the love. And number 10, a very special joy, a very special happiness. You've seen others enjoy this state. You can enjoy it too. But there's something else available in this state to you and to everyone that's not generally available to the normal, sluggish, run-of-the-mill consciousness. There's another part of you. A part of you that maybe you've developed to a degree, maybe you haven't. A part of you located in this area. If you've studied metaphysics, you know that this is called the 6th energy wheel, also more commonly known as the 3rd eye. Historically, throughout hundreds of years, thousands of years, people have learned the ability of using the 3rd eye to see what the other eyes can't see, to absorb what the other eyes can't absorb, to know what the other eyes can't know. One of the abilities that the 3rd eye gives you is the ability to allow yourself to see the energy that flows around every individual, animate or inanimate. Every object, animate or inanimate, providing it's alive. You have that ability. You have that ability. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and look at the gentleman in front of you. Don't want you to do anything special. I just want you to take a quick look and get an impression of him. All right, let your eyes open. Look at that gentleman for a second or two. Get an impression of him. Now, close your eyes. Now, with that 3rd eye, recreate in your mind the outline of, or if you're visual, the image of that individual. And as you look at the outline of that individual, begin to become aware of a flow around him. It might be a reddish flow, or an orange flow, or some blue mixed into it. But just imagine that. Just see if you can discover that outline around him in your mind. Can you see that outline? Yes. Okay. And looking without pressure to look, seeing without pressure to see, you can see much more than the conscious mind sees. The conscious mind looks for things based on what we're taught is supposed to be there. When I tell you to again, once more slowly open your eyes and take another picture of that man with your eyes, and especially with this eye. All right, let your eyes open. Take another snapshot of that individual and close your eyes. Now notice even more now as you recreate the outline of this man in your mind. Notice how the colors become more pronounced. Notice how that energy area around the outline of his body become very clear to you. Can you see that energy outline now?
The whole body's full.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now in a moment I'm going to have you open your eyes and look at this gentleman again. With your regular eyes that you normally use, I want you to look about 4 to 6 inches above his head. And you're going to notice you have a secondary impression of this individual that will be coming in from this part of you here. But you will see it not with your eyes here, but you will see it in the deeper part where it imprints in your brain. You're going to notice something about him. You're going to be able to see the energy around him. And the more you look above him and not concentrate on him, the clearer, the more visible that energy will become. All right? Slowly let your eyes open. Look a little above this gentleman. And now allow that secondary vision to come in. Don't focus with your regular eyes on him. Don't even focus. Let your regular eyes look above. Not important. And as you do, out of a secondary area of vision, you can begin to see an outline around this person. An outline around this person of energy. Close your eyes. What kind of an outline was there?
It's a beautiful blue-green.
Blue-green. Okay. Very clear.
It's about 4 inches wide.
About 4 inches wide. That's exciting. It's a beautiful thing to be able to see, isn't it?
Never seen it before.
Never seen it before. Whenever you want to see somebody's energy field, you simply will close your eyes and let yourself relax. This is how easy it is. It takes a little practice, though. You'll simply close your eyes and let yourself relax. When you feel that beautiful relaxation come in, you'll gently open your eyes and look a few inches above the individual as you learn more and more to read with this other part of you. And you'll see it will become automatic. It doesn't take a lot of staring after a while. You'll basically, very quickly, have that skill available. Let me show you how easy it is for you to have that skill. As I count from 5 down to 1, let yourself come back into deep hypnosis. Move down from this area and relax much more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's fine. Now at the count of 1, let your eyes open, become alert. At the count of 3, I'm sorry. All right, 1, 2, 3, open your eyes and notice how good you feel. How do you feel? Kind of surprised yourself, didn't it? You had that in that available. Now here's what I want you to do. When you're ready, I want you to close your eyes, go deeply relaxed. When you feel you're nice and relaxed, slowly open your eyes, look above his head, and tell me what you see. Got it? All right, when you're ready, go ahead into deep relaxation. And after you've stabilized yourself in deep relaxation, allow your physical eyes to open, focus above him, and see with that other eye the beautiful energy that surrounds him. Tell him what you see.
I see energy around you much bigger. Bluer.
What is your feeling of that energy? What is it telling you?
A lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of strength.
Close your eyes. A skill anybody can learn if you allow yourself to not be analytical. If you're going, I don't see anything, where is it? He said it was going to be there. Or John would say, well, you're sitting here at the sales meeting and I don't see any auras about you, so We'll move on from this point and talk about next month's figures, you say. Anybody can learn it. It's an easy skill to learn. It takes a little bit of practice. All right, at the count of 3, fully alert, totally refreshed. Just practice this a little bit on your own. You'll have it perfectly. It's real easy to learn. Whenever you want to learn this technique, you'll simply close your eyes, let yourself relax. Retaining that relaxation, you'll allow your eyes to become open. And remember, you're not going to look directly at those persons with those eyeballs. Look to the side, look above the individual, see with that other energy wheel, that other awareness. And as you learn more and more to use that part of you, how beautiful vision of the world around you will become. With very little training, you'll be able to look out in front of a group of people like this and see everybody's energy area instantly. You want to see love? Let me show you something. When I tell you to remain deeply relaxed, and Irwin's the fellow back there with the striped shirt and the beard, take a look a little above his head. You're going to be surprised. Kind of hard to see him. He's a little far back, but it's such a powerful force. Slowly let your eyes open. Look a little above him, that fellow back there, and become amazed with what you say. What do you see with him? Purple. Purple. He's a purple people eater, huh? One-eyed, one-horned. Nice, isn't it? Yeah. All right. That's how easy it is. At the count of 3, eyes open, fully alert, feeling wonderfully refreshed, excited about a new skill you have, and you're going to enjoy it very much as you practice it more and more. 1, slowly, easily, and gently feel yourself coming back up to your full awareness. At the count of 2, still relaxed, but a wonderful feeling of joyous energy flows through your mind and body and spirit. On the next number, eyes open, fully alert, feeling fantastic in every way. Get ready. Number 3, open those eyes and notice how good you feel. How do you feel?
Wonderful.
Give me a hug. You did good. Not bad, huh? Real baby.
Thanks.
Well, now you know how to read auras. Is that so hard?
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Got another girlfriend. This is good stuff. Okay. That's how you teach somebody how to do that. It's very simple. You can move them up toward the area of higher self. We don't even have to get all the way up there. We just have to let the mind go lighter and freer, where it's able to accept the kind of suggestions necessary for them to see with that other energy wheel. All of you are aware of this part of you. This is an ancient area. More diamonds and jewels have been stuck in this parts of people's bodies over the years. And we're talking big buck jewel, Bob, none of this cheap stuff.
I'll pick one.
By the Egyptians, the Philistines, the Romans, everybody, because they knew the importance of this part of us. And you'll be amazed if you let that part go loose and free, what it can do for you and how it can help you. So that's it. You just have a person go up to a nice high area, have them slowly open their eyes, take a picture of somebody first, and close their eyes. They're not looking for auras. They're just going to take a quick snapshot of the person visually. Now close your eyes, and in that area higher self, they can see the outline of the individual, and you'll see this. Sometimes it's a throbbing energy, or sometimes it's just the energy outline, which is neat to see for the first time. You have them practice that a couple of times. Then emerge them and have them go into their own state of relaxation, open their eyes, focus over the individual, and out of the periphery of the third eye, they'll start to pick it up very, very clearly. Now, because it's very important that one member of this class takes a break.
Get there, huh?
And go potty. We'll edit that out of the tape so nobody will know what I meant by that. Let's take 10 minutes and come on back.